Hey, 313 Airbrushing, how you doing today? It's Michael J. Dominguez coming at you with this episode of Peace of Mind. This is part 2 in the Gardening Your Mind series. How to harvest success and happiness in your life. Some little random thoughts that go through my mind when I was doing some work around the house. So what's going on right now is currently the airbrush is broken and I'm waiting on some spare parts. So in the meantime, I'm doing these filmings of the episodes so I don't fall behind when I'm doing a lot more artwork. And currently having the background is my priest with Chris Hemsworth portraying Thor fighting against the Silver Surfer. This one's probably going to be up in Lodi here probably next month. So I'll let you know how that goes. And I'll be posting a picture of my current piece, Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, hanging up at the Lodi Art Commission. But I'll post it on my Instagram, Mike at 313 Airbrushing. So, to get on with this episode, this week we're going to be talking about, once you've discovered your why, and you figured out the plot in which you want to start gardening, and so you figured out your why inside your mind, and you said, okay, so what's next? Well, kind of like what Napoleon Hill says here in this wonderful book. It's called Think and Grow Rich, which was actually published in the 1930s and was read by billionaires like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. He says, what a mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And truer words have never been said, in my humble opinion. Even in the Bible it says, he who casts this mountain into the sea and believeth with his heart will be able to do so. And I believe that's very, very true, and so as you start harvesting, setting up the why and getting your plot ready to go, you're going to start looking at your land and realize, man, there's some weeds there, and that's what I noticed, when I was getting ready to do my garden. I was like, man, there's a lot of crabgrass all over the place. And the thing I discovered about crabgrass, and I kind of make acquainted to the negative thoughts that show up in your life and in your mind, is that they're usually not as big as you really think they are. I mean, I had some crabgrass that was just all over. I mean, just from the side, one side of the fence to the other, and all over the back patio. But I started peeling that stuff away and started kind of getting back. I realized that it was just one piece of crabgrass that had grown and gotten everywhere, and latched itself to small pieces of the land, so I had to kind of trace it back and pull a little bit out, and then trace a little bit more, and then pull a little bit more out, trace a little bit more, and pull a little bit more out. But like I said, it all came back to just like one root, and if it hadn't gotten too deep, then I'd yank that whole thing out and no problem. But some of the roots and the crabgrass had been there for so long, and they had dug themselves so thick that, man, they were a struggle. Sometimes I had to go and actually get the shovel out and dig all that up. And I kind of equate that with the negative thoughts that actually are inside everybody's mind. Everybody has negative thoughts every now and again, and if you let that sit there and fester for too long, they will take over your entire mind. They'll put you in a bad mood, put you in a funk, and you really got to sit there and say, okay, if I'm going to harvest the happiness and success in my life, I got to get rid of those negative thoughts. I've got to, figure out where they came from, trace them back, and just start pulling them up, until you finally get rid of them. And sometimes you have to leave yourself little messages, little hints, because your attitude definitely directs how things are going to turn out, So I try to live with an attitude of gratitude, and I remind myself that every day I got this little sign I hang up in my bathroom here, and basically it says, your attitude equals your success in life. Great attitude equals great success. Crappy attitude equals unsatisfactory success. And then the choice is yours, I had this thing made up, laminated, cost me about $1. I hang it up in my bathroom. I look at it every day when I'm shaving to remind myself, hey, how you want the day to end is exactly how you want the day to end. It's all up to you, and it's all inside your mind. And those negative thoughts or the crabgrass in your garden, they'll take over your garden. They will just destroy your entire backyard if you let it. You got to get out there and you got to put in some work and you got to pull those things out in order to make things the way you want them to be, to make things, give it the soil the opportunity to grow the prosperity and the great things that you want to see happen in your life. So that's our message for today. It's that sometimes when you start gardening, first thing you got to do is you got to clear the land. So you got to make sure you get all the crabgrass out of there. And don't think that just because you pulled that crabgrass and you don't see it on the top, that the roots weren't deep down. So sometimes, that negative thought's going to pop back in. Sometimes there's going to be a trigger. There's going to be an anchor in your life. I mean, like Pavlov, showed with the dogs and ringing the bell. You ring a bell and you show dogs food and they start salivating. They get hungry. So all of a sudden you take the food away and you ring the bell, they start salivating because it's an anchor. It's an anchor, and it's going to happen in your life. There have been things that trigger in your life and that will bring up a negative thought. And sometimes you just have to counteract with a positive thought and say, now I used to think that way, but now I know better. And as I know better, I can grow better. So that's basically the sum of it all today, guys, is that, step number 2, get rid of the crabgrass. Start pulling out those negative thoughts and start putting in some, getting the soil ready to actually have some positive thoughts, So that's what you got to do. All right, everybody. I hope you're having a great and wonderful week, and I will be talking to you next time. By all means, if you get a chance, please leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, share on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, I love hearing your comments. Let me know if maybe you've had some times in your life where you didn't see the crabgrass coming, and boom, before you knew it, it was all over your garden, and you had to pull it all out. So, you guys have a great and wonderful week. I'll talk to you later. Keep showing them Colgate.